Welcome to IndyLive Radio with me, Norrie Hunter, right through till 2. That's the Sunny Cowgirls. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Not in sunny Glasgow today, they don't. It's a cracking day out there. Not quite taps off, but it's going to be dry with some good sunny periods, although patchy cloud over inland areas at times in the afternoon. And perhaps some patchy low cloud or fog across the Isles. Feeling very warm in the sunshine. Onshore breezes along the coast. Maximum temperatures 24 degrees centigrade. Welcome along with me, Norrie Hunter. We're up and running for this week. Time is now, 6 minutes past 11, Monday the 15th of July, 2019. We'll be looking at certain things today. The independence plebiscite put through by Angus MacNeil and Chris McElhenney is still rumbling on. There's been a lot of discord. There's been a lot of people for it. A lot of people agitating against the two of them because they think it's splitting up the party. Not when we need to do that, they say. So we'll have a look at that later, especially this other story. The UK government reveals name of the new hub opening in Scotland. It's the Edinburgh UK government hub. What dangers lie ahead for Scotland if this is put in place? And there's a no guarantee over medicine supplies in a no-deal scenario. We've covered that in this programme before. We've looked at what will happen to life-supporting medicines like insulin and anti-seizure tablets, these kind of things. There is an absolute disaster happening for a no-deal Brexit on those matters. We're looking at that as well. Lots of good music. You never know who will get in the phones. We've got Gillian and Kev in the studio today. I've just got a bad throat there. Need to take some tablets or something. Mind you, I'll not get them if it's a no-deal scenario. Anyway, we're going to kick off again with the Mamas and Papas, California Dreamin', and then we'll be back after that. Well, not so long after David Mundell was challenged by Deirdre Brock MP in the House of Commons about the extra spending he's been having, the most spending by a Social Secretary of State for Scotland ever, and non-answers coming back, which now reveals that the UK government is naming of the new hub opening in Scotland. The UK Cabinet Room will be created at the base. This is the base in Edinburgh and has been revealed to be known as Queen Elizabeth House. How subservient is that? The base near busy Waverley railway station and the historic Royal Mile will bring together around 3,000 civil servants from a range of UK government departments. Staff making the move, including those at the Scotland Office, HM Treasury, HM Revenue and Customs, Information Commissioner's Office and the Office of the Advocate General, are all due to move in. Well, what does this mean for Scotland? What does this mean for the Scottish Parliament? Well, if I'm being really cynical here, I think it's a move to close down Holyrood. Maybe controversial, might be, might not be. Why have it there in the first place? Why has it never ever been there before? What's this? I mean, 3,000 civil servants. What do you think? Give us a shout out if you want to. Get us in the Indie chat box, Indie.live radio, and give us your views. It's scandalous how much money's been put into this. It will enable closer collaboration between departments, smarter working, and the use of the latest technology, they say. Aye, right. Commenting on the hub's name, Scotland Secretary David Mundell stated, "I am absolutely delighted that Her Majesty has agreed to the naming of the new UK government hub in Edinburgh as Queen Elizabeth House." What a subservient lickspittle. Words, well, they don't film for that, but I'm not going to say them live in air. What a guy. What does he do for Scotland? Any ideas? Get in touch. What is his role for Scotland? What positive thing does he do for Scotland? I don't know. He says the royal title is hugely fitting, given the hub will be the focus of the UK government's work in Scotland, hosting 10 UK government departments. Well, I never. This is bad news for Scotland, I think. Give us your views on that. There's stuff coming through on my phone already. I don't know what's happening here. Right. Yes, indeed. Let's see. If they try a political coup or anything else, it will be a civil war on their hands. I'm ex-army, and I will not let my country be taken over by a fascist dictatorship full of tax-evading sex offenders and corporate thieves. Anonymous. Right. I'll try and read out some of the better ones, but that shows you some of the anger that's out there. So if you're angry at this or you're disturbed, get in touch. Us at IndyLive Radio will put out your messages. Right. After all that, I'm going to play some more music and maybe get Kev back joining me here to discuss what's happening. This is Harpo, movie star. More of that indeed. Oh yeah. Right. What have we started here? Chris says English embassies, nothing more. Heather says, surely as it's government building, it shouldn't be named after the Queen. She's supposed to be non-political person, isn't she? Oh, Irene, I'll have to edit this one myself. And so it begins. We are going to be too late. Get off your SG and get us out of this union. You will never be forgiven if you allow us to be taken over by this UK government. Is this building needed when we have a Scottish Parliament? That was a question I posed earlier. No, it's not. And lots more besides. Get in touch. That's on my Twitter feed. What else is there? Right, we're going to be looking at also no guarantee over medicine supplies and no deal scenario. Well, I have first-hand experience of trying to find out where my insulin supply is going to be from my wife, who depends on it. It keeps her alive. And over the past few months, I've been trying to get in fact, I did get my MSP to ask the Foreign Office, the Home Office, what would happen in this when Brexit happens to all those medicine supplies. And I got a vacuous non-answer. Absolutely nothing. And now it's come out, Mike Russell asked a question. He said, leaving the European Union without a deal would be disastrous, blah, 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 and that everything should be done to avoid it. We all know that. But he's saying, look, for medicines, you have to be very careful. This is what people depend on. You cannot go for trade deals first. You cannot think that tax evasion is the ultimate benefit of Brexit when people might die. It's beyond belief. They haven't made any provision whatsoever. And of course, somebody says it's like an arsonist setting a building on fire, then complaining that the firefighters aren't doing enough to tackle the blaze. This is what's going to happen when they find out there is no medicine. So, people of Britain, you've got a choice. Do you stand up for this, or do you just meekly accept it, or do you take in the mainstream media and believe what you read on Brexit, taking back control, damn immigrants, all that kind of stuff. If you're dependent on medicine, you might want to realign yourself to those policies that aren't going to take you down a path. Anyway, what else is in the news? Well, what can I say? Lewis Capaldi, wasn't he first class? I don't know if you saw him on, or if you're lucky to be at Transmit Festival, but it was on telly last night, and he came out wearing his Chewbacca. It must have been sweating, but he came out and he made a good laugh, and he's the most self-effacing guy. He says, in 2 years' time, I might be back singing in pubs again. This is just a great buzz for me doing festivals and being on TV and stuff. What a credit to Scotland. What a boy. I love that guy even more. Now, somebody's been complaining about the weather in Glasgow that I gave out. It was a Scottish weather forecast, but I've got one for Aberdeen, specifically for X-Sticks. Some patchy cloud to start across the east, otherwise a dry day to come with some good spells of sunshine. Feeling warm, onshore breezes along the coast, maximum temperature 24 degrees centigrade. That's from the Met Office. There you go. Right. Depends whose purse the money comes from, Paul, though I do agree that it worries me why it's happening now. That's Ronnie R. And Paul says, I'm concerned about the money as I'm concerned about what it's for. This is the new hub, the Scottish office, the UK government's place in Scotland. It's actually like an embassy, isn't it? It's not. Why now? Somebody says, it's Ronnie. He says, agree about Lewis Capaldi being a nice guy. My son did sound engineering for him once on a local gig in Glasgow, and he said he was really nice. Well, he comes across as a top man, Ronnie, just from what I've seen of him on TV. And Noel Gallagher, who actually won the Walloper of the Week last week on IndyLive Radio. Stiff competition, but we did give it to him. He won that because he called Scotland a third world country. But part of me thinks it's a publicity campaign between him and his brother. One says Scotland will love you, and the other one goes Scotland's a third world country. Guess what both get out of it? Publicity. I would just ignore them. What else is happening yesterday? Oh, damn, goodness sake. A damn close run thing. This is Jacob Rees-Mogg. This is cricket last night. England won a match. We'll never hear the end of this. A damn good close run thing. We clearly don't need Europe to win. That's Jacob Rees-Mogg. Straight away, Walloper of the week. He's gone in. That's straight in. Jacob Rees-Mogg, you absolute muppet. What the heck? What has that got to do with sport? Europe is not... this is just a poor excuse to bring Brexit into the equation. And by the way, Jacob Rees-Mogg, the captain of that England team was an Irishman. Yeah, get that. Stick that with your pipe and smoke it. Wow, right. That's me. This is Miranda Lambert, Kerosene. I'm going to take a wee lie down. Fantabulous. Absolutely beautiful music. Odyssey, if you're looking for a way out. Right. Yesterday's paper. David Pratt. This is interesting. Britain, a pawn in US war game. Why is Britain suddenly getting involved with Iran? The first thing that happened was a British Royal Marines boat imposed on, let's see, British Royal Marines, a recent seizure by the British Royal Marines of an Iranian-owned tanker graced one off Gibraltar on charges that it was breaking European sanctions imposed on the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Not surprisingly, the Iranians were none too pleased. And then a British boat going through the Straits of Hormuz, just south of Iran. And you've got to remember that some 30% of the world's crude oil passes through those straits. And if the waters are becoming unsafe, the supply to the entire Western world could be at risk. So what is Britain doing there? Why are they involved? So it's tense stuff, but are they supporting Britain? America. Is Britain supporting America in this? Because America is at odds with Iran for several things. I'm not going to just now. But the danger, of course, is a miscalculation, get my teeth in, that produces a conflict even if neither side wants it, is the outcome. For its part, the UK government has allowed itself to become caught in the middle of this rapidly escalating feud, and Britain needs to ensure that it doesn't obediently and foolishly follow in America's wake over policy towards Iran. For in doing so, it would be sailing into dangerous waters indeed. But there's another piece to the story. Brexit. Brexit's going to divide the country. A no deal will divide the country, put a lot of people in poverty, a lot of people in danger. What is one way they think of getting the people on one side again? You got it. Have a common enemy. You know, Margaret Thatcher done it in 2000. When was it? 1992, 82, 1982. Falklands, and then Tony Blair thought he'd flex his muscles and take on Iraq. Big mistake. But if you're looking for a way out from the Brexit and you want to galvanise the people together, well, it's worked before, hasn't it? What's your thoughts? Get in touch. Usual sources, indeed. Right. Get angry today. It's an angry Monday. We'll get Kev on soon. You know, Kev Gibney, remember him? He does a lot of production stuff. He's not, mind you, see in the next couple of days, when I'm off, he's in charge. Kev's going to be taking control. I'm away up to the West Coast. We're camping up to Arisaig. Can't wait. Oh, by the way, I got on the train this morning, and a blind woman sat beside me, and she didn't realise I was on the seat, so she kind of knocked into me. And I said, "That's okay, don't worry." I said, "Have you got somebody to help you off at the other end?" She says, "Yes, I have. Somebody's coming on a couple of stops to help me." So this other woman came on. But in between times, you know what? I felt so humble. Somebody just speaking away, can't see a thing. And I was looking out to skies, blue skies, green trees, all the meadow flowers are out, and I'm looking at them and thinking, "Oh, I'm a lucky boy. I'm lucky today." You know, it takes something like that sometimes, doesn't it? Just to make you appreciate what you've got. Anyway, that's my wee thought for today. Always think what you've got, not what you've not got. Right, who are we going to play next? I don't know, Parmalee. Must have had a good time. Probably. Good old country coming up. Here we go. Whenever you're ready, boys. Aye, keep going. Lovely bird song, but no music. Come on. What am I paying you for? Come on. 1, 2, 1. There we go. I knew they'd turn up. Must have had a good time. Right, we'll get some airtime. Doogie's going to come on with a jingle, I'm absolutely sure of it, next. But then after that, I'm going to put a break note in there. Told you. There's always that wee bit left at the end I forget of that jingle. Right, Jilly.
Good morning, Norrie.
How you doing, pal?
Yeah, good, good. Enjoying the almost tax-off weather. How yourself?
Almost. It's pretty hot in Glasgow, but some people in Aberdeen are complaining that I didn't give out a good weather forecast.
Is that JJ?
No. Can you please half the people all the time? Never mind all the people all the time. Right, a couple of stories mentioned this new hub in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Lots of comment already about that. People not happy.
No, understandably, and I hear it's going to be called Queen Elizabeth House, which straight away takes me to the hospital and the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which who decided that?
Well, it does seem like rebranding, doesn't it?
It does. It just seems like, anything from tomatoes to hospitals to buildings.
Cabbages.
Yeah, cabbages and kings.
I know.
Is getting rebranded, and it's pretty desperate, actually, and very obvious. It's getting incredibly obvious if you,
What do you think the Scottish Government should do?
It's a really tricky one. They cannot not know it's happening. They cannot not be aware of the risks.
Correct.
Because it's just impossible not to be aware of it. The discussions have been out there. They've got contractors to build. They've got contractors who are going to be working as civil servants. So the employment alone. So I don't know what could they do. I think they need to take a firm line.
Yes.
And I think beyond the SNP, the wider movement, irrespective of whether anyone wanted to be Brexit or not Brexit, and that's a minority that didn't want Brexit, how can that be right? That someone is just going, do you know what, we're going to build a house here and we're just going to, decide what's going on.
It's the location of it as well, just past Waverley Station, down the Royal Mile, very expensive property.
Surprising.
Where's the money coming for that? Why isn't it? Why?
Is there an accounting process, Norrie? Do we have to see what David Mundell spent our money on?
Well, he was asked in the House of Commons by Deirdre Brock MP about his spending, because he spent more than any Secretary of State for Scotland has ever spent.
Right.
He's gone on foreign trips all over the world, and we've yet to find out what he's done to promote Scotland in those.
Maybe there's something here. Maybe we can all write in to David Mundell and ask him where's your money gone? Where's our money gone, David?
I've started
Fluffy,
that.
or whatever you
There's a
call
hashtag Muppet Mundell's going about. I started it. Please, if you ever get that, if you see something about the Mundells, because the son, Oliver Mundell, said, I know, he said, I'm voting for Boris because he's the one to save the Union. I thought, you absolute muppet.
Yeah.
You tube. What, I mean...
do you know what, Norrie, your hashtag Muppet Mundell, we go for Muppet money. Where's the Muppet money gone? Honestly. But it's not even, and one side of it's funny, but it's actually really serious. Do you know, it's our money, it's our taxpayers' money that's going to this. Non-accountable.
I know.
Completely non-accountable, just,
I know, absolutely. It's
promoting what? Promoting what? There's people around the world that are awake to how valuable Scotland's brand is.
Yeah.
It's looking a bit desperate. It's just like, however well you promote it.
It does look a bit desperate by the Tories.
Yeah.
Because what happens when they get kicked out? What happens if we get independence? What happens to that lovely building? Do we just keep it then?
Oh, we can use it.
It's on our ground, isn't it?
We can use it. We can set up. We can turn it into accommodation.
For the homeless.
Absolutely.
What other uses could we have for it?
Plenty of uses. But
give us
as
a
you
shout.
say, yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Muppet money.
Muppet money. Now, the other story which concerns me: no guarantee over medicine supplies in a no-deal scenario. Asked whether he could guarantee that all medicines that people in Scotland use will be available after a no deal, the Home Secretary, this is Sanjay Javid, he can't absolutely guarantee that. No, we have made arrangements with the UK government in March. We felt we'd last for 3 to 6 months, which meant that most things were available and there were substitutes, but nothing has been done.
Wow.
And the thing is, Gilly, it gets me back to this. When you, if you get back to Brexit, because it was due all down to tax evasion. And so that the Rees-Moggs and the Duncan Smiths and all those people can get away scot-free with doing what they've done for all the time they've been doing it. They don't care about people. They don't care about backstops.
No.
They don't care about war. They don't care about people's medicines.
No, they're not even pretending. They're there basically to serve the interest of whatever you call them, their pals or the lobbyists, the banks. They're there to serve the small percentage. They're not there to look after what we would call average people. The majority of us. They're not there to look after the majority of us, and I think the sooner we realise that, the better.
I know. Well, there's a great piece in Bella Caledonia by George Kervin, and it's. I'll try and find it actually. It's got to be there. Let's see. Let's open it up. It's a really good piece, but it says what we've been saying all the time. It's Boris, Brexit and the hedge funds, part 1. I plea with everybody to read it. Please read it.
I will read it.
Boris, Brexit and the hedge funds. It's just what it was all about, what was destined to be. Boris is looking after his own family, his own ilk. He's not looking after the...
Totally. Really, sorry, you just say...
God.
You're just saying that about the tax evasion, and it's all about, you remember the Amazon and Google and Starbucks and all of that. It's just, well, we'll do that for you and you do that for us.
You help us in the Brexit.
Absolutely.
Oh, the other big story, Jill, I forgot. Morrison's are
dear.
stocking the Brexit Express. It's a newspaper. It's a free one.
Okay, that's another customer they've just lost.
Yeah, me too. They're in a box at the front where the trolleys are.
Are you kidding
And
me?
you can pull one off. Brexit, the Brexit...
Brexit News.
Or something it's called.
Right. Okay.
Morrison's.
That's another one off my list. I don't know about you folks out there, but my list of shops that I'm prepared to go to with good heart and integrity are is a small list.
Yeah, yep.
Some I have to compromise from time to time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
See.
Oh, on the other subject of I mentioned Jacob Rees-Mogg tweeting about how England won a Cricket World Cup without any Europeans involved. Hold on.
Hold on, did they win the cricket? I hadn't heard that.
I know.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I think I've heard that about 25 times already.
But Ian
on
Redden,
various stations.
the captain and the opening batsman, I think, he's Irish. And this is Haider Ali. He says, OMG, I'm laughing so much. Pre-Moeen Ali and Rashid's facial reaction to the champagne celebration, because Muslims don't drink.
Aye,
but they're in the team that won for England.
There we go. But of course, there'll be no sensitivity to that, will there?
No.
None, because, there's one culture and it's it.
I know.
That's it. That's just the insensitivity, exemplified, isn't it, unfortunately?
It sure is.
You were saying there about Jacob Rees-Mogg and talking about the evasion, the tax evasion. Do you remember he had companies that he moved out of, his 6 or 7 companies or something, that he moved out of London? Didn't he move them to Ireland? I remember you saying that on one of your shows.
Yeah.
Or Dublin, that's it. Aye.
He moved to Dublin, his business interests. And he made Somerset Holdings, his company, made £45 million on the back of Brexit.
What?
So, yeah. So in the Indian markets and the Chinese markets, we don't know if this is laundered money, we don't know if this is asset stripping, we don't know what this is because there's no transparency. But he made £45 million for his company. Out of that, he got £8 million for himself. Now, Gilly, what's he doing in the House of Commons?
Yeah.
He doesn't need 80,000.
No, he doesn't. He shouldn't even take the Well, no, he's doing. That's another debate. But
I'll tell you what he's doing there. He's influencing policy to suit himself.
Yeah, and those that are lobbying alongside you.
Wake up, Scotland.
Absolutely, very, very closely linked are the policies and those that push the money towards them. It's lobbying. There's some great stuff about it on the internet, and if you look up how lobbyists work, that's basically it.
There is, and somebody at the BBC demonstration, I can't remember if it was Sunday or Saturday. Was it Saturday?
So the BBC demonstration was yesterday?
Sunday.
Aye.
And he was going, why did the BBC not when was their last in-depth investigation into Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers?
Was there skullduggery going on with lots of ministers and government officials and money disappearing and an ex-prime minister? Oh, I don't remember that. Do you?
And they gave us a new channel. Somebody was saying channel 9 o'clock news that gets less of a whole station
Aye.
gets less of a budget than EastEnders programme.
Well, of course.
I know. Right, we'll take some. We'll stop for breath. Get in touch. Usual bits and pieces we've got: text, Twitter,
Aye.
all the rest of it. I played this last week. Pamplemousse. Did you hear it? Bulletproof.
That's grapefruit. Isn't that?
Is it?
I think pamplemousse is grapefruit in French.
Well,
nice.
aye. Well, this is Bulletproof, right?
Okay.
IndyLive.radio for audio. This is IndyLive.radio. Unfortunately, we cannot legally live stream music.
There you go. Pamplemousse.
Tune in to IndyLive.radio
Bulletproof.
for audio.
Jilly, what is a pamplemousse? What is it?
Pamplemousse.
Aye. Did I say it right?
I think pamplemousse. I think it's a grapefruit, but I didn't actually check it, which I should have done. But I just hopped over to look at the tweets and to just I was going to just do the hashtag Muppet Money. So I don't know.
Pamplemousse.
Someone's
We'll
going
find
to
out.
very quickly can find out what it is. Do you want me to have a wee quick look on the?
Aye.
on the Google
I've
Fi?
just through in Sky just now. Jeremy Hunt has been talking about Iran and Britain's involvement. We just did a wee bit on that
grief.
earlier on.
Yeah.
The Foreign Secretary is in Brussels to seek support from France and Germany on the issue, and he is said to be looking to give Iran a way out of this.
Oh.
The three countries fear the Iran nuclear deal is close to collapse after the US pulled out last year and reimposed sanctions which have antagonised the Iranians. Mr. Hunt said the UK and US have different views as to how we keep the region denuclearised. So it's all right for you to have nuclear weapons,
Yeah.
but it's not all right for them.
There's very few countries in the world actually which do have nuclear weapons, and
Yeah.
the US and the UK are two of the biggies, aren't they?
So why is why Iran not capable of having nuclear weapons, but you are, you muppet, you cheap. You think I don't trust these Tories? Oh,
No,
you know this
not at
serious
all.
stuff. This.
You see the same they did in, you just mentioned before, Syria and Iraq as well. It's the same old story. There's oil or power or control or flexing muscles and money. It's just
But
the
the thing
same
is-
story, isn't it?
Julie, if I came up to you and I says, you can't have that because you can't use it, you're going to go, mind your own business.
I'll go, oh, hang on a minute, am I Scottish? Because that's what's happening to us.
I know.
But
But
no, absolutely. It's you know, so it's all right for one lot of people to use something and not another. It's how it's kind of the Anglo-American empire, isn't it? It's that
yes,
whole
it is.
and note
special
Anglo-American
relationship.
empire.
Well, that's a good point because I'm just reading down here. The thing we agree with the Americans on is a long-term solution to the tensions in the Middle East, and as an Iran which ceases the destabilising activity
Yeah.
that is happening in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen,
Yep.
and that is the root cause of the problems. He
Yes.
said. You never mentioned Saudi Arabia there. Why not? Is that because you're supplying them with rockets and bombs, and they're the ones that are attacking Yemen?
Aye, and Saudi. Do you remember that? I think they had Saudi-led coalition, and there was actually, it came out that it was a lot of reporting that was done away from mainstream, and it came out that it wasn't just Saudi-led. There was a lot of influence from from British military.
Oh, yes.
So it was trying to go. Oh, that's nothing to do with us, but
You
you
know,
know they were giving shouts and orders and.
See, this internet thing, it's brilliant. You know, we just get up to date with it.
Yeah.
What are you trying to hide? What do you think we're Muppets?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
they do. I think they do, but it's very difficult to hide. I think that's why censorship is increasing. You know, it's
Yeah.
very difficult, and you know,
It is, you
the
know.
more people want to start. Well, hang on a minute. You think one thing's not right, then you start to look at something else, and you go, oh, hold on a minute. You know, it's the train of, haha, I'm going to find out this for myself.
And Mr. Hunt has got all this information because he was on the phone call. He had a phone call with Iran's foreign minister, Mohammed Javad Zarif. So they discussed this impending disaster by
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
So he couldn't fly out there or just meet
Discussed
somewhere.
it by phone.
I do a Skype, that'll do, mate. Aye,
that's all right.
fine.
Good grief.
And there's all kinds of communication breakdown with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. And
I think it's just bubbling over to be a
It
war.
does sound like it's exactly as you said just a wee short while ago, Norrie. Is what unites people when there's an inverted commas chaos, which many argue is brought about anyway deliberately because it's confusion. Then what brings people together? It might not be in the way that they want to go. We don't want another one, but it certainly brings people together. And
does indeed.
yeah,
Well, we'll
Sure.
break it. We'll go to this is Portugal. The man feel it still means you'll be back after this. HAPPY Radio by Edwin Starr getting us back into the show. Now it's, of course, afternoon. We start off in the morning and now, well, that's how it goes. Past 12 o'clock, afternoon. So I better watch what I say. We've been having a bit of a laugh. What names could we have for the Queen Elizabeth Hub? Alternative names, that is. I'm going to kick off with, what was it, Betty's Boudoir.
Betty's Boudoir. I was going for Squatters Central.
Squatters Central, good shout. Kev?
Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building, Kev's going with. Well, just he's got it. The Imperial March.
Nice, right. So Queen Elizabeth House. Alternative names, please.
Indeed, give us alternative names to Queen Elizabeth House. This is a new hub that the British government are putting in Edinburgh. Blimey, why now? But they're scared of losing Scotland, that's how. They are really scared. That internal polling they've done that would not reveal it, even through freedom of information, they would not reveal it because it said it was not in the national interest. So, yeah, but listen to this. This is outrageous because somebody, I think it was the Scottish Tories, put something out saying that it was not 72%, and we're going, who said it was? Who said it was? Who said it was?
Exactly.
Who said it was?
Too loudly to deny that it was the figure. How did no one said it?
Yep. So they are petrified, and Boris Johnson ain't going to save them Scotland, that's for sure. 11%, this is in the paper today, of people think you do well for Scotland. Independence is coming. Make no mistake. What else is happening? Scots would have no faith in PM Boris, that's right. Confidence in Tory front-runner lower in Scotland than rest of UK. And after this humiliation at the hands of Andrew Neil, can anyone trust the guy? Can anyone have any respect for him?
Absolutely not. Yeah, no wonder that the figures for support for Boris are so low. I mean, buffoon was one of the words.
Buffoon.
It's such an old-fashioned word, but it's
It
so
is.
accurate, though, isn't it?
You buffoon,
Just
you
use-
absolute belter.
Yeah, you mentioned hedge funds, and I'm just thinking Boris and hedges, and thinking he always looks like he's been drawn through one, doesn't
Aye.
he?
But that's to give his cuddly look,
Uh-huh.
of course.
Yes, it's to make him look harmless when we well know he's not.
No.
Absolutely. Do you remember? This is just very quick. Do you remember he had connection with Goldman Sachs with the Uber drivers in London and the London taxi.
Yeah, when he was
drivers.
mayor.
Aye.
Yep, aye.
So it's all the same story all over again, just a few shunts up in the hierarchy, isn't
It
it?
is. It's still scandal, but of course it's Boris, so it's not scandal. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
No, he's mired in it. Right, I've got 35 seconds to let you all get in position for my favourite track of all time. The place will be jumping in a minute. Kev loves it. You'll love it, Jilly. I love it. Cactus loves it. Everybody loves it. It's well, I'm not going to tell you.
I wanna know what it is.
Well, but it's just to brighten up the mood, I think. And it's quite a short song, 2 minutes 58. But this is golden radio, golden, Kev.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, can't you whack that, can you? Kev, that was brilliant, wasn't it, mate? Not everybody's cup of tea, but mine.
Love it.
Do you,
Love
Julie?
it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Harmonies.
Remember Manhattan Transfer, just a fantastic album.
But what, I can't remember whatever else they had.
Oh, they had Operator. They had.
No.
I'm gonna try, Operator. They had. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to. That's the one that everyone remembers, though, isn't it? Just class.
Johnson. I better sing it. Better.
Yeah, no, it's just. Oh, Pamplemousse. Making me think if I didn't check Pamplemousse because it was in French.
I know. But somebody was saying that Pamplemousse song was a version of LaRue's Bulletproof. I think it was, actually.
What was it? Right.
We'll have to get the original, but sometimes I like the covers. Is there anyone... I'm just thinking, what's been a better cover than the original?
Oh, better or as good as? Because I can think of
Better.
one straight away that... Well, I wouldn't say better, but, do you know... One of my all-time favourites is Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb.
Mm-hmm.
And the Scissor Sisters, I never thought anything. I don't think it's better, but I think it totally twisted it and made it into a really interesting version.
Well, here's
So I wouldn't say
mine.
it's better, but what
I think New England, Kirsty McCall did a better version than Billy Bragg.
yeah, I would do.
It was more more production on it, and just I don't know, just it's like a woman's song the way he's written it. So you know, she's got a baby in the house and
Kirsty
da.
McCall, yeah, absolutely.
The late great Kirsty McCall. So that's my one.
Kev, who's Kev got
Oh,
one?
Kev will go the Cisterns of Mercy. That great old plumbing merchants in Glasgow. The Cisterns of Mercy.
He's a bit-
Oh, he's
a few seconds
sleeping.
back.
Oh, wake up.
You're talking to me.
We'll get Kevin a minute. Oh, there he is. He's on the live
He's
stream.
on, yeah, because he's never.
It's just gone mad after Manhattan Transfer. Just mellowed us right out. Right, Jilly, why we need a plan B if Westminster blocks a second indie ref? Why?
Why? Well, we can't go nowhere. And what we were just talking about was Queen Elizabeth House. We need to have somewhere to go and some options because we still have a mandate. Scotland still has a mandate. Scottish Government still has a mandate for an indie ref. If that's blocked, that's kind of going against democracy.
Why do you think the
Sorry, I'm really hot.
the SNP conference? I don't know who plans these things. But they've now
Council.
they're not progressing this case and they're not delivering. They're not having it as an amendment at the party conference.
I don't.
No, this is just to let listeners know. This is a plebiscite for independence. That is if they have an election, a general election or a Scottish one.
Yeah.
If the SNP and the Greens or whoever get more than the unionist parties, then straight away into that's us. We've got we've won. We've got independence.
Yeah.
Because Section 30, which is a part of the Scotland Act, which is actually the Scotland Act is part of the Secretary of State for Scotland's remit, and it's in Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't accede to that Section 30, we have to Plan B. This is what Angus, Brendan McNeil, and Chris McElhenney are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think they're both right.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that you're just trying to split the party. You're trying to make waves when there shouldn't be any. Just remember, coughing fits are not a good thing in the radio, are they? No,
Just moved away. Was that okay?
no apologies on this show. Is there, Kev? No, I could. And you're not even a smoker, Jelly, are you?
No.
See, Kev is. He smokes at a lum,
Okay.
and he doesn't cough at all. What's going on here? I don't know. But listen, what were we at in the polls? Nearly 50%. The more Boris Johnson speaks, the higher that's going to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the panic?
Out of interest, you're saying what the panic is. I think they know that the polls are way higher. You just said there.
No, for the SNP. I mean,
for the SNP. Oh,
for
sorry,
Angus and for Chris McElhenney.
Where did the polls come from?
Well, they're in Ipsos Mori. They're
Ipsos
quite a
Mori,
few.
so all of them quite. Yeah.
Well, the latest ones.
I don't think it's about splitting the party. I just think that we've got to explore every option, and the SNP is a very broad party. There's lots of different points of view from pretty far on the left to kind of central, maybe even to the Fergus Ewings, who's a wee bit more on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's practical because a lot of people will be asking it and they need to reflect what the wider plebiscite is thinking.
Well, do you know...
Do you not think? I don't know.
No, a lot of people are saying on Twitter, my account anyway,
Yeah.
for what it's worth, things like they're happy in power, the SNP. They're just quite happy going through the motions. They need to get their the finger out, as it were. I'm trying to be as polite as I can.
Yes.
They need to be seen to be doing things. But the one that struck me was if Boris Johnson gets elected as Prime Minister, Nicola Sturgeon must come out with a statement on which way we're going from that point on.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing, Gilly. Once we get Brexit, that's it. We don't have the support of the European Commission or the parliaments over there.
Yep.
We're up against them ourselves.
Absolutely.
And look what they're doing. They're putting in place a hub for that very moment and taking away the powers of the Scottish Parliament. If you think about it logically, Stormont, deed in the water.
Yeah.
The Welsh Assembly gave back their powers. The only stumbling block is Scotland.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we've got
Stormont's deed in the water,
well,
and it made it happen that
well,
way.
I'm just thinking about Scotland. Why not Scotland? Because Scotland, we've had a taste of what the Scottish Government can do. It's part of our civil life now.
Absolutely,
We look to the SNP to help us with the health service, our education, for baby boxes, for start-up grants for people wanting houses, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and compassion in society, compassion, and not generally being pro-war, I'd say, is another thing.
Yep, and you know what? I'll tell this to everybody who's listening. When you get scratch my bonnet there and I knocked my head. When you get a parliament that's close to the people that the SNP one, the Scottish Parliament is, because people can, it's quite close. People can petition, people can receive the benefits and be, I know where that came from. But what does the UK Parliament do for you? You've no idea. It's distant, and that's the way it's meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll return to a distant Parliament with that hub if that ever reaches its fruition.
I don't actually even want to go there in my head because I feel that although we obviously got to discuss it. I think it's enabling them to think, oh well, they're going to do this to us. They are going to do this to us, and I don't think we can countenance it. I really don't. I mean, it's been it's a creep mission, isn't it?
Well, the first message,
creep.
it is. But the first message I read out, an ex-soldier says, "This will lead to civil war. This will lead to action, and I'm going to put my body in the line." All this kind of talk.
Do you think that's what they want? Maybe.
I hope not.
I hope not too. I certainly don't. We're a martial nation, not a warring nation. That's a different thing, isn't it? You know, we're not.
Well, I think, and then that brings us back to a lot of people very upset that the people we elect to represent us aren't doing that quickly or vociferously enough on this. Because why isn't there an SNP statement? Why isn't there a big, huge issue from the SNP to counter this today?
Absolutely.
What is going on?
Yeah, there, in my view, and I agree with you, there should be something that it's the antithesis of what should be happening. Everything that the independence movement and self-governance really is about is respect, integrity, being accountable to the people. How does sticking a building without anyone's permission? How does sticking a building in there and start? Well, with the implication that there's going to be 3,000 staff. Well, hey, by the way, you know what? If you don't support that, you could always just not work for them and do what they did in, it's ground action, isn't it? What do they call it? I'm trying to think.
Oh well. Anyway, it's a tricky one. There was the other thing was we play these Scotland in Scotland is Now things, and I'll try and get one up. And what we do is we try and promote Scotland as an inclusive place for everybody that comes here. But yet, last week, a South African lady was told to leave, and she was married to a Scots guy.
I know that.
She was asked to leave, and she's on she's now in South Africa, booted out the country.
Absolutely atrocious.
Now, there's plenty more people like that in Scotland who are sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting, absolutely biting their fingernails, what's going to happen to them.
And yeah, that adds
So,
to the impetus.
and
What
that
is
adds to
happening?
the scare, the frightening scenario. Now, Nicola Sturgeon, you've got to do something. Get a debate going on immigration. Get it going now in the Scottish Parliament. Reconvene.
Absolutely.
People waiting there, absolutely at their wits' end.
Yeah.
This cannot be left to
It's
settle.
people's lives, and
and
you know it's
fester.
happened down south with the Windrush generation, and then you contrast it as well with the very positive stories of the Syrian refugees who, through no fault of their own, found themselves with nowhere to go, nowhere safe. And they set up, I think they set up a barber shop or a hairdresser's or something on the Isle of Bute.
Oh,
Was
it's
it? Or Dunoon?
no, it's a baker shop.
Ah, baker shop. So, you know, there we are. There's our government saying, you're all welcome, everyone welcome here. And then on the other hand, there's someone who's given their wherewithal, everything, just to be told you're off
I
on
know.
a plane.
It's frightening in the world, in today's world, that's still
People's
happening.
lives, as you
Yeah.
said before, Norrie. People's lives.
Right, we'll take a wee break. We'll go to Marshmallow, or my Marshmallow, the guy with the square head, and we're a Scottish band this time, Churches. That is Canuck. Yours truly playing guitar. Yes, it was the band I used to be in long time ago. Should finish any second now, I hope. Yeah, Canuck. Right, Jilly's having a good chuckle over there about the messages that are coming in. If you want to go ahead, Jilly, what have we got?
Oh, some crackers so far. So we have.
Now this is for the rename the hub.
Rename the hub. Now the hashtag is rename the hub. So that's the one to use, and hopefully we'll get a few. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. So Dougie came in with Tory Departure Lounge.
Hey.
Hashtag Tory Departure Lounge. Brilliant one, Dougie. Chris McCusker came in with, that's Nicola's #1 comrade on Twitter as Viceroy Chancellery. Brilliant one.
Yes.
Brilliant
of course,
one.
Yes.
Yes. And
like that.
Nice one. And Stephen Nightingale, who has actually tweeted to said Rory Stewart, which we have retweeted, he says, Rory's house.
Oh.
So 4 crackers to start off with.
Aye,
keep
it coming, indeed.
Absolutely
Good
brilliant.
stuff. We like that.
Yeah.
Keep us laughing. Right, everybody's complaining about the levels of our microphones up and down, up and down. That's just how it goes, Jilly. People like to complain.
That's okay. I've moved closer. Is that better?
Yes, of course it is. I think you're good.
Thank you.
But everyone thinks I'm too loud and you're too quiet. Maybe I've got a louder voice. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. May
yeah.
I just mention another one? Because it literally just came in after we said I just want to check with you.
Go for it, gal.
So we've got, it's from Andy McAndrew, and it's Achgi's piece on Twitter, and he says, Miners and Monarchs, to be officially opened by Prince Harry and the new Scottish overlord, Ross Thompson.
Oh, of course. Aye. That's why he's hanging about with Boris, isn't it?
About of course.
He's wanting that job. Mundell, your time's out, son. Right. Well, what about the chat box, Jilly? Do you want to do something on that? Because it's been a while since I've looked at that.
Yeah, can I come back to you on that in just a wee minute? Just because I've been doing the Twitter things just now.
Well, hold on. I was talking about the promotion the Gallagher brothers get, and Ronnie says that type of publicity didn't work for Benetton, though, or that jewellery guy Ratner. That's true.
Yeah, that's right.
And he also comments, I was doing the thing about Iran, Britain's involvement with that, and he says, funny how there's always a crisis in the world or a health outbreak when the politicians are in trouble at home. Indeed, Ronnie, I think that's the point we're trying to make. Gravity Walls, Paul C. Well, if we gain that Indy, that building can be used for Scottish Government ministries that are currently reserved. Well, that's, yes. Aye, yes, we like that.
Right, I'm reading these
right,
things now.
I've got to line up the next. We've got Scotland is now the Europe one. We'll play that, and then we'll have a chat about this one after. So here it goes. This is Scotland is now Europe. Just a short audio. There we are, we're back on. We'll play these audios, and they're supposed to give heart to people that Scotland thinks about, all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
But we've just seen somebody getting deported last week. So those words to a lot of people will now sound very hollow indeed.
Well, I suppose there's another way of looking at it, which is, yes, the words will sound hollow, but it's the Scottish government that are welcoming people. It's the UK government that are not. So it's UK action. So I don't know. I would hope that people would get the difference. And by the way, does that sound better with me close? Is that better?
I don't know. It's
Kev, is that better?
We're going to have to put you up a wee bit.
Okay, I'm a quiet voice.
You are.
I'm softly spoken.
I'll take mine right down to there. Is that better, Kev? Is that better? Is that better? Kev's gone mad.
We could just do a duet,
Levels
Norrie.
are going up and down. Levels are going up and down.
We could try singing Chanson d'amour and see how that goes. Chanson d'amour. Da 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 da.
Da 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 da.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
No, it's rat-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Norrie, you need to get a wee bit.
Right, there we go.
No.
See, people for complaining about the level of microphones.
But to be fair, it's from people that are kind of within the loop, so it's
Aye, so
it's within the loop, so they're trying to help. To be fair, I think, and thanks, Jan was saying that's better. Good, thanks, Jan, brilliant. Just seen that on the chat. All conversations of currency after independence aside, it's great to see that. We'll read that in a wee minute. Let me know when you're ready for me to go to the chat stuff. But thanks to Jan and the others. Okay. So Jan from English Scots for yes. Thanks, Jan. All conversations of currency after independence aside, it's great to see that the Bank of England has finally put Alan Turing on a banknote. He will be the new face of a £50 note.
Yes,
That's
well, this is
isn't it?
well, this is the. I remember John Nicholson trying to put a bill through the House of Commons,
yes,
and it was what was the word called?
Talked out.
I talked out. Can't remember what the right term that is. But anyway, this is to get to let these people who had been charged of sexual crimes, but which were none and nothing back in the day, and they talked out filibustered it.
It's filibustered. That's the term.
It
would have been what Oscar Wilde had gone to prison for, wasn't it? So it's basically retrospectively saying that was out of order, and we pardon everyone.
I think this is the governor of the Bank of England's doing this. It's his decision, not the British government.
No, absolutely.
So
but it's something. It's a gesture, isn't it? Beats Churchill. That's controversial.
Yeah, and Roddy says, love seeing Turing getting the recognition he deserves. Shame it wasn't done in his lifetime.
I know. How true is that of so many people? It's like in life in general, isn't it?
And one of the things, I think me and Kev were speaking about this a long time ago. The people have, in 2014, big independence people now died. And we think, we'll have to do it for them.
I know, and
we'll have to do it for the memory of them.
Remember Ian Bell, the wonderful journalist?
Yeah.
Oh, he was just incredible. Yeah, as you say, so many, but he's just one that sprung to mind there. He was a mind changer and a thought provoker and an absolute pioneer. Not a pioneer.
Well, he was.
He was a pioneer in his thought.
Yeah, he was.
He was amazing.
Right, a bit of a blast from the past, something different on the Norrie Hunter show. This is Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. Probably something Kev will get down to. Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. I don't know when that came out. That's an old song, but a good song. Right, more Project Fear from, this is diabolical, from Professor Colin Anthony, who says, uncertainty over the prospects of IndyRef. The threat of never-endings has seen property investment in Scotland fall to an all-time low, with Scotland being left behind the rest of the UK, according to a new study. See that study you've got, Professor? Is it mentioned Brexit at all in there anywhere? So somebody was, we're keen to see the evidence of this, as it is completely odds with what we've just seen right now. We can see a lot of cranes from where we are broadcasting. There's a Barclays are building a financial service in Glasgow, and biggest in years. Am I missing something here? This prof seems to be probably one of these paid unionists. Professor Colin Anthony from Napier University.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one, because what's the result of that? People in Scotland then think, oh dear, that's awful. So what do you do to control people? And you make them feel awful about themselves. So he's just put in maybe some duff statistics, or what, maybe the reality is that people are more panicked about Brexit, but let's shift the focus to Scotland and make it look awful.
I know.
You know?
It's just a pathetic report.
Yeah, just always look,
But it's another one of these.
Who's come up with it? That's the thing, gives you the clue, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Tories will retweet that and put it out and say, well, look, never ever endings, blah, 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 blah. Ruth Davidson, quick off the mark to celebrate England's cricket team. She tweeted yesterday. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. What a fantastic game, brilliant game. She never said anything about when Scotland football lasses were playing.
Yeah,
she never says anything about when Scotland are playing. But when England are playing...
Yeah, I know, and it's incredible. There's been radio silence, newspaper silence, everything silence, and suddenly she pops up.
I know.
She's got wee trigger points in her, Let's she's not bothered about people dying as a result of policy, but, see if someone wins a fantastic
football match, she's up there.
Or cricket.
We're just getting news in from our friends at Revive. This is raptor persecution. Hen harrier suffers savage brutality of an illegally set spring trap on a Scottish grouse moor.
Oh no.
We've highlighted this before in this show. For these grouse moors, they will kill anything so that the grouse can survive, so they can then be shot. This is
crazy.
An absolute waste of the land, and this is just a tragedy. We're already short of mountain hares. They're down to their lowest levels ever, because they eat the same thing as the grouse do. And words are hard to find for this malicious and cruel event on a protected bird. Says
it's terrible.
Says this tweet. The excuses of a few bad eggs within the shooting estates is not good enough anymore. Need to licence those shoots and ban the driven grouse shoots. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ban them. And, in this time of... Look at the weather outside, Julie. People are wanting to go up to the hills and have a...
Enjoy.
You could be taking your child, your dog. Dog runs off into a trap, loses his leg. These things are barbaric.
It's barbaric for any living being, whether it be an animal or a human. It's barbaric, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop.
It does indeed.
I don't know if there's... It's the British Association of Conservation and Shooting or something like that. That's normally the ones that... But I don't know what they're... It's just a one-off.
This is maybe a time for a petition at the Scottish Parliament, I think, on this. It's gone too far. On the Ruth Davidson thing... Fraser, to evidence your unionist credentials, you appear to need to show your support for England's cricket team. But pity you can't show the same support for this the South African lady separated from her husband and forced to leave the country.
I know,
that's
saying. Perfect. Absolutely perfect example of just watch when there's silence and watch when there's lots of shouting. And there's always lots of shouting and hip-haw when it's something that they go, aren't we great? But very quiet when it comes to showing the lack of compassion, lack of integrity, lack of kindness, lack of sense of society.
Aye.
It's... I just keep thinking of... Like you said, that woman there, 11 years, I think you said she'd been here, didn't you? 11 years?
I can't
is it?
remember,
I think
but
is
she's
it,
been here
was
a
it?
while.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
I must stop saying absolutely, because remember you said Kev was saying it a lot, and now I'm saying it a lot. Absolutely, I am. Yes, absolutely. So I'll stop it and say something else.
Just say it right.
Right.
So that's what Kev says as well. Right man. Right man.
Aye, okay.
But I just go, I can't help it. And do you know this? I said it once. And the whole time me and Kev have been doing this, I said diddly dum. And he puts out a Twitter, there's plenty diddly dum, diddly dee on this show. And I thought, who the heck put that out?
It was, see, I quite like that diddly dum. There's an ABBA song with diddly dum, diddly dee in it. No. Well, let's just move away from that. But yeah, seriously, going back to the
board, what's it?
Issue.
We've kind of covered the board, haven't we? Just to say, if you're watching this on the live stream, there it is, iScott Magazine.
shout out to iScott.
iScott Magazine. It's fabuloso. Look, somebody said to get educated by reading this. I quite believe that.
Mm-hmm. I subscribe to it. It's a great read, and some really good regular contributors.
And it's got the big crossword and the wee numpty. That's the crossword to the wee numpty. And it's got a personal astrologer to Rory Stewart is in this. So somebody's making a forecast for him. Good stuff. Island crimes. Oh, the Pete Dead. I've got to say,
he was in the other day, wasn't he?
Alan Martin. I'm still reading Alan. They've taken the bodies. They took them away and they buried them. And now the guys, one of the journalists from The Nation has gone down to see this Welsh woman who her, what would it be, great-grandfather, I think. She wants to know more about what happened to him, and it's getting quite spooky. And, it's a good read.
Right, I'm not normally a fiction reader, but I know it was Isla, wasn't it? And based on lots of distilleries, or there's a thread of distilleries on Isla.
Well, there was, but it's a political thriller.
Might have to do a
Pete
reading.
Dead, please, if you can get a copy of this. This should be your book for summer.
Okay.
The Pete Dead. I love it.
Right, you might have persuaded me when I'm off on one of my wee trips.
Yep, I don't know how much... I got a copy of Kev. I can't be bothered, Norrie. You better read this.
No, Kev didn't really say that, did he?
He did, but he thought it was a textbook or something. And I got the... I want to watch. Listen, this is Carly Rae Jepsen. I really like you, it says here. Let's see what she's on about. Oh, that's true, Julie.
That's nice.
Right.
Quite right. Oh,
She'll come in a minute. There you go, Carly J. Jepson. I really like you. One hit wonder, I think. Now, on the Twitter feed, there has been some action. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm only prepared to wait for the SNP for so long before I lose patience. I only joined the party a month ago, but already I'm wondering if they're the right vehicle to deliver IndyRev 2. Ultimately, people will have to act if they fail to. So, some people not happy, but some people are, this is Descattered is saying they're the only vehicle they've been building strength over decades to get this far. We've never been closer. All they need is support on the numbers. If that fails you, you can forget it. It is indeed the decision not to debate Plan B at conference strikes me as odd, says somebody else. The only plausible explanation I can offer myself on that is they don't want to publicise their tactics. If that's the case, then I understand their thinking. So long as something is happening in the background. Well, indeed, I think that's what we're all praying for, that Nicola Sturgeon knows what she's doing. But let's not get too hasty. Let's calm the jets, because as somebody says, I'll just try and find it actually, nothing will happen until November unless Boris Johnson calls a general election. November. I thought it was, well, it's Halloween, isn't it? We're getting kicked out.
The very end of October is the last day for the kick-off or the kick-out or your Cheerio Europe. So we've not got much time, have we? July,
No.
August, September, so what?
No, well, we're coming up to the news. Crikey, another hour has just gone past. We'll be back after this. The news will be followed. We'll play. Who have we got? We've got Sean Moore. We're going to do a wee track from Sean, and that'll come after the news. Kev will get the coffee on. We'll have a wee break, and I'll line up some tracks after that. Right. What else? We have nothing left to do but to just wait for the news. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, by the way, just before the news comes up, see if you get an Ice Scott magazine like this, you're finished with it. One of the great things I was told that a couple of mates found them in bothies. Put them in a bothy.
Nice idea.
Welcome back to me, Norrie Hunter. Through till 2 o'clock, 1:05 the time now, Monday, 15th of July. Just checking through my iScot magazine, and I come across Vivian Martin, the wife of Alan Martin, who wrote 10 Pete Dead. And this is a piece about the Scottish Health Service. You'll miss it when it's gone. Sending out an SOS. Geary women for change want to safeguard our Scottish Health Service. I didn't know that Vivian wrote such good stuff. So, if you get the iScot magazine, I'll just hold it up. There you go. Diddly-dee. If you're going to Bothy, take one in your rucksack and leave it there, because these things tend to get left for a long time in Bothies. And sometimes it's a long night in the Bothy and you need something really good to read. And I think the guys that go up in the Bothies will be entertained by this magazine. So take it with you up the Bothies, or leave it anywhere actually, or buy one and leave it somewhere and take one home for yourself. They're that good, honestly. iScot magazine for those of independent mind. There you go. Right, what have we got, Gilly? Any more on the rename the hub?
We have some absolute crackers. We've got from Stephen McCarroll, we've got Colonial House.
Oh, Colonial House, yes.
Yes. From Ranald Lithgow, he's put in 6 actually. So
6?
thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Go. Yeah.
Right, go on.
Okay, so he's got Fort Apache, the Alamo,
Aye, well, they'll be holed up there.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh, yes.
Bannockburn House.
No, that's too Scottish for them.
Aye.
That's too Scottish for them.
Stirling Bridge.
Still too Scottish.
And shouldn't have stopped at Derby. That's, yeah.
Hashtag shouldn't have stopped at Derby.
Yeah, there's some crackers. I've literally just put out a list of all of them so far, so I'm just adding to them. The Colonial, Weatherspoon's newest Brexit hub. and they're using the hashtag rename that hub, so rename the hub. So if people could use that would be great.
I just put that round.
Really good stuff.
It is.
Really good. There's lots coming in. Brilliant.
I know it's mad stuff, but we like it.
We love it. Yeah. Some great, it lifts your spirits. Good. The Black Hole of Finance from Kay Carrington Smith.
The Black Hole would just
The Black Hole of Finance.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's another one. Penguin. Oh, I've lost Penguins. Where was he? Penguin Flight Road, Occupation Central. Occupation Station.
Oh, yes. Occupation, indeed.
Yes, this building is occupied.
Heartbreak Hotel, that's a good one as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's 2 more coming in. Yeah, it's Overlord Towers.
Oh, yes.
That's from Indy Thistle.
The Overlord, of course.
Overlord Towers.
This is the old...
Indy Thistle. Nice one, Indy Thistle. Thank you.
The Overlords, indeed.
Ooh, to get the cap on. Yeah, get a thinking cap on.
I know.
Yeah, we've just tweeted out to poet Sean Moore as well to ask if he'll come up with something wordy and good. But he may not be around or maybe doing other things. So when we know, might be later in the week, we'll let you know. So
well, in fact,
brilliant.
What was I going to do? Was I was going to put something on with Sean.
Yes, you were going to do Was Like Us, weren't you?
I was. Now, what you don't know about this perhaps is I'll put it on, and then we're going to have tonight at noon playing the John McLean March. But I didn't know this either till I played it. That my brother Gary, who's a bit like Kev, he's a whiz kid with this kind of stuff. He put the music to behind it, and
right.
I kind of thought, how did you know Sean Moore? I thought I knew him because I'm down here and you're up there.
Aye.
And well, he's done this, so have a wee listen. I'm gonna.
Oh, I'll have a wee listen too.
Put your phones on.
Put me canes on.
Put canes on.
Put me canes on.
Put the canes on, girl.
Get me canes
right.
on, Norrie.
This is Sean Moore in collaboration with Gary Hunter.
What did they make of our situation?
Wow, simply stunning, Sean Moore. As promised, we'll go into a song tonight at noon, John McLean March. Wow, wasn't that good? Tonight at noon, John McLean March. Before that, it was Sean Moore, Was Like Us. Powerful stuff from Sean. Should be playing that more often. Right, I'm going to go back onto this Bella Caledonia website because Boris, Brexit and the hedge funds. Actually, I wish we should stop calling him Boris. He's Johnson. This Boris makes him like the guy next door. He's not. Muppet. Who does he really represent? This is Boris Johnson. Put another way, which groups in society fund a hard Brexit and Boris Johnson's election campaign? The answer is a specific splinter group of city finance capitalists who run so-called hedge funds. And among the city hedge fund operators backing Boris Johnson are David Lilly of RK Capital, John Wood of SRM Global, and John Christopherson of Christopherson Robin Company. Now, for those of you who are wondering what hedge fund, what does that mean? Well, let's go back in time. It really means it was originated in the 1940s by a maverick Australian, later American investor called Alfred Winslow Jones. He invented a new kind of fund that hedged its bets, hedged its investment bets by offsetting growth stocks by short selling others. He made money whether the market went up or down. A modern hedge fund does the same thing but on a giant scale. But they're not normal investment funds like a pension fund or even a mutual trust. The latter put money from small savers into safe assets like bonds and FTSE 100 company shares. Hedge funds, on the other hand, are risk takers. They invest in risky stocks or projects with intent to make above average returns. Now, above average return, STV was above average return for hedge fund operators. When it went onto the FTSE 100, STV went to a number of hedge fund operators. And that's why STV is not Scottish, because the only thing with STV is the name and some of the accents they put on front of the camera. They're all rigged up by hedge fund operators, and that's why they don't spend money on football games for Scotland, or they don't make Taggart programmes anymore, etc., because they've kind of rigged the market on that. And broadcasting's not devolved, remember, so crudely they have a money-making wheeze. So they get all the money from the advertising of STV, and to put nothing back out. It's called asset stripping. But there's a big long story in the Bella Caledonia piece by George Kerrivan, and I'm just going through some of it. But the crashes of 2008, whenever there's a crash, just remember whenever somebody's making a loss, somebody's making a profit. And these hedge fund operators, they're making the profit. And who's up there amongst them? Boris Johnson. This guy knows where the money is, let me tell you. And the people who are funding him for this Brexit, and remember, Brexit is to hide their tax evasion carry-ons, because as we recall, the European Commission was bringing through tax evasion directives to each and every member state, and they had to implement them by 2019, and the Tories said no, that would get us into a lot of bother. So that is the story, and that's the headline between. Or if you get, let's just say, if you get Bella Caledonia, download it, read that piece on Boris Johnson, you will not think he's a cuddly monster with tussly hair. No way. Right, Jilly's back. She's having a... No, go for it. You're allowed to swig. Oh, look, I'm big. I'm on the screen big. It's me.
You are.
Look at
Good.
that.
I'm glad he's not got me on swigging my tea and eating the Monster Munch.
I think that's why Kev put it on to me.
Aye.
Right.
Bless him.
Who else have we got? Chainsmokers and Coldplay. Something just like this. Do you know, this time is flying past. I'm going to ask Kev. Kev, is there any guests on Wednesday and Friday that we can?
Yeah, I'm on. Yep. We on Wednesday we have Ben Ray from Common Space coming in.
Superb.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, should be good.
Ben writes a lot of good stuff in Common Space. Great journalist. Absolutely privileged to get him in. Anyone else?
I've not had a chance to chase anybody up yet.
I think we're trying to get some yes groups for Friday. Yeah, as always.
We'll get some in.
Aye, usually it's always lastminute.com. But anyway, I'll let you get back, Kev, to whatever you're doing. Right, me and you, Julie, back. Now, rename the hub anymore.
Doing well. We got from Andy Brays, we got the Reichstag.
The Reichstag.
The Reichstag. That's...
aye.
Yeah, that's... aye.
Oh, yes.
Traitors Gate from Dragoon Guard. Traitors Gate.
Yes, Traitors Gate.
Yeah, we've got the cereal box from Cool Heads Prevail. We think we know what that refers to. That was the advert, wasn't it? The cereal box. Eat your cereal, love. Was that it?
Yeah, well, something like that.
I think, was it? Something like that.
Cereal
Shut up and eat your
box.
cereal or something like that. From Callum Martin, we've got the kitchen sink.
They're throwing everything at us, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, exactly.
Aye. Well,
Betty's Home for Sociopaths. That's from Willie Watt.
oh, aye, that's a good one. Right. There's lots of good ones coming in. The other thing is we're looking for the Walloper of the Week. We've got Jacob Rees-Mogg down for including Brexit in the his statement over England's win at cricket. How bad and how low can you get? So he's going into the Walloper of the Week. Is there anyone else out there that wants to put a Walloper in? Mind you, I won't be here on Friday to oversee that. I'll be away.
Oh, where are you off to?
I'm going up to the Highlands to a campsite.
Oh, that sounds idyllic.
Aye, up to our Arisaig.
Oh my goodness, that's so. It's what you call it? Is it whistling sands, singing sands, or something?
Singing sands, and that's what they call them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, indeed.
What a gorgeous part of the world.
It is, you know.
Wee bit of envy creeping in here.
Aye. Well, that's that. So, as promised, the Chainsmokers and Coldplay, something just like this. Chainsmokers and Coldplay, something just like this. Right, I think we're getting more and more Hold on. You can't come on, Buffy Sainte-Marie. We're talking. Right, Jilly. How's it going over there?
Great guns, actually.
Something's going-
So many. Seems to be quite popular. The rename the hub thing. I think it's definitely struck a nerve, hasn't it?
Well, it has, and quite rightly so.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to read out some more of the other ones?
Oh, go for it. Yes, give us a
So
laugh.
Cool Heads Prevail have come up with Toady Towers. So they've come up with 3 actually. 2. We've got
Toady Towers.
Toady, as in
Toad House.
Toad
That's
House.
Toad Hall.
Yeah, Toad and Toad. Actually, Toad Hall. There we are.
That's right.
There's also Toady Towers. So then we've got Stephen McKerrow saying Westminster Block.
Oh,
Quite
get
clever.
it, yes.
Yep. Bootlick House is another one from Cool Heads Prevail. Did I read out Rory's House? I think that was the
You
first
did.
one I did from Stephen Nightingale. Yes, I think I did.
That was ages. Aye.
That was ages ago. Just double checking. Yeah, we got the cereal box. I read that one out. So yeah, so we had 3 more coming in, but really,
cereal box, aye.
yes, it's
Hey.
definitely a popular one. I've been trying to think of some more of my own actually.
Well, keep them coming because they're very funny. Some of them very on the ball.
Yes.
I was just reading a story about here in the Saturday's paper. Whenever the Tories get into trouble, the BBC helps them out. This is why people demonstrate against the BBC outside their Pacific Key headquarters. When the BBC ratchets up its campaign against the Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, the timing of its Panorama programme couldn't have been more perfect. The BBC is fearful that with the Tories tearing chunks out of each other, the Socialist leader could be the next one, but Prime Minister, but it could get worse for the BBC. The polls are suggesting the SNP could gain many more seats in the new Parliament, a double whammy nightmare scenario for our state broadcaster. So whenever the Tory party are in trouble, the BBC helps them out, and we've seen it in Scotland and England time and time again.
Yeah.
The anti-Semitism cudgel is wielded, and it's all aimed directly at one man, the Labour leader. To try to make sense of all, perhaps one way is to examine who would benefit most. Should be there to. The Blairite right, of course, are behind all this to say. We have never agreed on anything he stands for. Hedge fund managers and investment bankers without have reached British Virgin Isles accounts that bankroll Boris. We just spoke about that. The Tories naturally, Donald Trump and Israel, that's a very powerful opposition to one man. It is indeed, isn't it, when you think the flack he gets. And I have some sympathy for Jeremy Corbyn because if I say I'm pro-Palestinian, that doesn't mean to say I'm anti-Semite.
No, of course it doesn't.
But I think that's what they do. But he's so poor in fighting back. He's rubbish, actually.
Yeah,
he just
it's
lets it
very
go. He
different.
doesn't come out with statements, and the statements he does come out with are pretty bland. He
Yeah.
was elected on a set of principles by the grassroots within the membership. They were hearing what they wanted to hear from a Labour leader. Since then, he has compromised on those principles in order to hold his party together. When Westminster goes into meltdown, as we crash out of Europe, what next? Martial law? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. When you attack, when the opposition get attacked more than the government of the day, you have to wonder about our press.
Yeah, I think. Well, this is why we're here, isn't it? And why the other, well, I suppose it's non-mainstream alternative press is gaining ground and popularity, just to get another viewpoint. I think. You not think?
Well, yep. I don't know, Jill.
But the BBC, I can totally understand why people want to protest, and I think it's important to keep it in the public eye. But you've got a choice. You can, I'm not advocating doing illegal things. Obviously, I'm not advocating doing that. But if you don't watch live television, you don't have to pay a license. So there's that choice. First of all, obviously, if you've got kids, that's a separate thing, and you tend to. But, also, the clue is in the title. It is the British Broadcasting Corporation. And a corporation is its primary objective. If you watch the film, corporation, it's all in there. It's nothing to do with morals and values. It's all about profit.
It
And you
is.
can't sue it either, because it's a
No.
corporation. It's a body that has no
Well, it's good.
existence other than itself. It's that's not very well described.
No, but
yeah, it's a corporation.
Ofcom used to be out with their remit because the BBC Trust used to deal with all complaints, and they would just ignore the biggest complaints. Now I think Ofcom have got some power there, but not much. It's not much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to play something for the Blow Monkeys. Heard of them?
Oh, I have. They're,
Yeah. Digging Your Scene?
Digging Your Scene. That's the only one I could think of, actually.
Me too. I think it is. Play. The Blow Monkeys Digging Your Scene. Welcome back to the Norrie Hunter Show. Through till 2 o'clock on a balmy Monday afternoon. I'm glad to hear that people liked the music we're playing, especially, let's see, Norrie. He goes, yes, that was for Blue Oyster Cult way back, I don't know, that was ages ago. And who else? I like that track. That was at 127. Norrie, I have no idea which one. If it was Blue Oyster Cult, good. If it wasn't, it was another one, please tell us. Julie, what have we got?
Well, we've got some great additions to our Rename the Hub. So we've just had a really nice explanation, actually, from Angry Bob on Twitter. And he says, let's call it Hotel California because the lyrics are so appropriate. And I don't know about you, but what do you think of when you think of Hotel Calloway? I've one phrase that comes into my mind, one line.
Can I
I was
get out?
thinking, that's it. Yeah, you can. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. I think
Aye.
that's what. And he's attached the lyrics, so
Oh,
that's
right.
that one.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, thank you, Angry Bob. And we've got. I'm just trying to find the other one down there. We had Westminster Block, Castle Numskull.
Oh, yes.
Castle Numskull. So that's Rick Ferguson and Rick Ferguson's
Numskull.
6 foot midgie on Twitter.
6 foot midgie.
Yeah, and we've got Keith Waddell saying New Fort George.
You Fort George.
We've got Colin H on Twitter saying evacuation point. I'm thinking taxi queue.
Get out of there.
Aye, yeah. So, and there's another one. Oh, yeah, Deadeye here. This was the last one that I just read, which is living on borrowed time central.
Yes.
That's quite a killer, isn't it? That's a good
could be
one.
A novel or something.
Yeah, living on borrowed time central.
Indeed. Right.
Lizzie's Lavy. I've just seen another one.
The Lavy House. That's what we should call it.
Aye, the Lavy House.
I'll just turn it. We'll speak some more. Turn that off. Right. What else? It was a Coldplay one. Oh, right. Ronnie got back and says he liked the tune. It was a Coldplay one. That was by the Chainsmokers featuring Coldplay, actually, Ronnie.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Now, I'm sure. Did I not see? Oh no! Surely I'm going to try and get this. Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett should be. No, he's not here. Thought we had him, but Cactus has been on. He's been adding tunes to our system here. And,
He's got some great tunes.
You might think so.
Okay, well, I've only heard a few of them, so I don't know how many he's put on. So.
Van Halen. What is this?
He likes the rock.
He does. He's. I know, and he's getting hair. He can't headbang around. He's just.
I think he used to have long hair, did he not?
Oh, probably
Yeah,
did.
he?
Aye. But actually, he's one of those guys that suits being bald. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Europe. He's got loads of Europe. Oh man.
I think he's trying to make a point, is he?
Aye.
Cactus,
Hey.
you're trying to make a point here.
Aye. Well, I never.
The final countdown. Europe, it's the final countdown,
Yeah,
maybe. Actually, there's one.
Pantera. I've never heard of these people. I'm just going to. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a bit of this on. I haven't played this for ages. What's he done? He's mixed. Oh, this is Johnny Cash doing a version of U2's One. It's in his last days as a human being on this planet. Is it
not coming up? No.
That's not coming up. So I'm gonna. Yeah, we're on a break now, so
Okay.
it should be coming up in a minute.
I was just thinking of a lovely song, actually.
Well,
I'm thinking about the Sands of Moror and things.
blimey. No. And then when
Which
we're up
one?
there, we're going to try and get a boat trip over to the Isle of Egg.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So, and we'll find out. I'll take a wee notepad with me. I'll take back holiday notes about how they're surviving because they bought over their island.
Yes, so it's a community buyout
Yep.
or a land, but yes, I remember
It was
that.
Mazuma, the artists, sold it back to them, and they've now got their own energy system.
Yeah.
They're attracting girls back to the island because they're the first to go. I'm just looking, and I'll get my egg cup, of course.
Your egg cup, yeah. It's a lovely wee tea room in Egg. Been there a few times because I've spent a lot of time on Mull, and it's a beautiful place, lovely wee sailing across. And I don't know if you can get across to Muck as well. You can get off the Small Isles cruise.
You can,
I think
or you
it's
can go to Rum as well.
Rum,
But
aye.
Muck hasn't been bought over. It is,
Not yet, has it?
It's horrid.
No. I had a cracking time on Muck. I had an end of season holiday there. It was beautiful.
Yeah, well, we were there not so long ago, and the roads were really poor. There was wrecked cars all over the place. It wasn't good, and Rum was just as bad. And I said to them, "Do you need more people coming here?" She goes, "No, we've got enough. We've got 18." I says, "Are you having a laugh? You need people to come in with money, with skills, with ideas.
Yeah.
Just don't keep it all for yourself."
Yeah.
Strange way of thinking.
Well, I think I can't remember if it's Muck or Egg, but there's outside the tea room. They've got one of these big old fishermen's line reels, which works as a table as well.
I know.
I used to go there regularly on the Whale and Dolphin Watch boat, and it was lovely.
Well, we'll be doing that on
Are you doing that?
tomorrow, I think, on the way up. Anyway, as
lovely.
promised, Johnny Cash doing One. Oh no, we'll come back from that. Telemetry, no. We've only got 10 minutes to go, so we've got more, haven't we, Julie, on the lines?
Yes, we have. I'm just moving. I'm moving between the IndyLive chat.
If you could mention,
English Scots for yes.
You haven't read out subjugation.
Subjugation House. That's Jan, isn't it? From English Scots for yes.
Which isn't bad, actually, is it?
Yes, there's some good subtle ones. We've got the Death Star from is that Ori?
The Death. Well, that's for the hospital.
It is, but maybe they don't know it's for the hospital because I'm not sure where they're from. So you might not know that the Death Star is also for the hospital in Glasgow. But so there's the Death Star from it looks like Ori Henderson, or is it Drew? It might be Drew Henderson. It's DRE anyway. Drew Henderson. You'll have had your T Villas as Frasbo Cybernet.
Yes.
Cybernet.
Yes. Edinburgh.
Yep. Alan Thompson says Room 101. No. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a good one, isn't it? Now, actually, Broadcasting Scotland, our lovely friends over at Broadcasting Scotland, have come up with the House of the Rising Sun. Now, funnily enough, someone else had also come up with that one. So there's obviously similar thinking about the lands of, I think we can say Brotheldom, can't we? We put a dom on the end, we're fine.
Aye.
Brotheldom. Of questionable repute. I think it's safe to link that with a certain house down south. We've also got Garioch Grapevine comes up with the graveyard.
It'll be Gary Grapevine.
What's it?
Garioch.
Is that wrong?
Yes, pronounced Gary.
Oh my goodness.
Only because I've stayed there.
Oh, okay, no, thank you, Norrie. Thank you for that. No, because I'm a pernickety so-and-so when it comes to pronunciation. So thank you. So Gary Grapevine, the graveyard. And Frasbo's come up with 4 more. He says, Bend the Knee Mansion.
Oh,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Bend the Knee Mansion.
Not Done and Forelock Tuggin. Abandoned All Hope House.
Absolutely.
That's a cracker.
We like that.
Wasters Are Us.
Do you know what?
Nice one, Frasbo. Yes.
I don't know. I couldn't pick a winner out of all that.
I honestly
There's no
don't
winners. There's no winners.
There aren't. Do you know what I think as well is the fact that people have bothered. They've taken part and they've bothered, and they're just brilliant ones for all sorts of different reasons. It's humour at its best.
Humour at its best. IndyLive Radio bringing you all the humour you need. Now, before we go, couldn't go away without playing a bit of Barry Manilow. No, this is him on the. What is it? It's the
Cabana.
Copacabana. Here he goes.
Cabana in Brazil.
That was Mike Russell. This is Sunflower Bean, Come For Me. And after this, it'll be time to go, I'm afraid. Right, that's Sunflower Beam, Come For Me. Well, we're coming for you because it's time to go time. Thanks for being around. Enjoyed it, Julie?
Yeah, it's been a really great morning. Thanks for having me on.
No
Norrie.
problem.
It's been brilliant.
Kev, enjoyed it?
Yay!
Yeah, Kev's enjoyed it. Some people think I was giving you a hard time today, Kev. I don't even know what they're on about. Crazy people. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was going to say all again on Wednesday, but no, not me on Wednesday. I'm away my halls. And I'm not here on Friday. I don't know don't know when I'll be back. But anyway, God bless you all. Thanks for listening. And do it all again on Wednesday. Bye for now.